It's 4th of July, bro! Time to open up a brewski, grab a handful of fireworks, watch a good old-fashioned patriotic movie like AmeriGeddon, bro! AmeriGeddon is that brave 2016 film which dared to ask the question, what if Red Dawn were more like Last Ounce of Courage? Only one movie stood up against all those Hollyweird movies to say that the government is joining China and Russia and they're gonna cuff your guns and Bibles, bro! This is a movie written with such a firm hand of God that a guy literally named Heaven co-wrote it. He also stars in the movie as a rancher standing up to the evil government wanting to bang his cattle. I think Gary Heaven may have a thing in his contract for only playing characters named Charlie. And you can't have a big tub of oiled up patriotic man sauce without also being co-written by someone named Chase Hunter. I bet he knows how to hunt and chase. There's a movie so goddamn manly, it's directed by Chuck Norris's son, Mike. He also directed the movie Mission Air, which seems like everyone involved with this movie was a part of. I'm glad that this movie actually tells us that it's forewarning us that we are unfortunately watching the movie AmeriGeddon. The movie is taking place in the near future where things are crazy. Look at how insane this stock footage is. This is the biggest budgeted episode of InfoWars yet. Although something tells me that the footage that they're using is taking things way out of context. Just a hunch.
Order. Progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
In the full speech, he's actually rejecting that idea and not supporting it like this movie is suggesting. Not that the makers of the movie care. If this movie would stop buffering, then maybe I could watch it. Does this movie have a virus or something? It's quoting H.W. Bush as saying the same thing as Obama, but I disagree with some of his politics, so I'm gonna assume the movie isn't taking him out of context. I see that they're for flag burning so long as it's part of a title logo. Charlie is a patriot who is trying to explain to Congress that the government is coming after us. What? Alex Jones? I'm just as shocked he's in this as I was when Rocky was in Rocky 2.
We don't need you to try to educate us on threats.
He does not like to be educated, and I think I know what his character might be thinking.
And yes, even we have developed weapons that are designed to bring down this grid.
Could I have sex with those weapons? Charlie thinks the government is going to take over America because something to do with banks, war, maybe a podcast he listens to. And in case the audience is confused, yes, that is Alex Jones. Why won't anyone listen to him that the president wants martial law and wants to imprison anyone who speaks out against America?
I am a patriot. You, sir, are nothing but a traitor.
Ow, Jones is just playing a character. I mean, he literally is here. He's named Senator Reed in this film. I know whose fault this martial law is, the media.
The American news media has our narrative. And in that narrative, Charlie Gray is...
Charles Gray? I knew Blofeld had something to do with this plan. As the latest conspiracy theory about a cow turned into a horse is underfoot, let's see some soldiers complaining about, what else, the government.
You'd think that the government would put a little extra effort into an architecture.
That's because they use that money on these sweet helicopter shots. Can't wait for the scene when someone stubs their toe and they blame the government for it. Charlie does have some friends in Washington, though.
How's my favorite liberal state rep?
That is our word. I don't know how seriously the younger cast members are taking this.
Why would they send a drone over your ranch?
Stop laughing at how stupid this movie is. That's my job. She's using her hatred of Charlie to practice what she's gonna say on Twitter that day.
Halfway decent man spread his wealth around.
Well, he does. He's actually my largest donor.
See, I'm practically a homeless man. And if you think this movie isn't gonna feature Patriot Grandpa from Last Ounce of Courage...
On behalf of the President of the United States, welcome. There are 2 attaches each for you on the outskirts of the camp.
Why wouldn't Marshall Teague be in this film? He saved Christmas from nothing, and now he's gonna save 4th of July from nothing. But you know who I am shocked is in this?
Seems like anything with a barrel or a blade is a toy to her.
Probably.
Diane Ladd, you're in Chinatown and wild at heart. She isn't taking her medicine. Must be why she's confusing her daughter for Carrie Russell.
I feel great. Just great.
Take the pills, Mom. She warns the kids to get over to Charlie's in case of a government takeover. Plus,
God will protect Brandon.
Take the pills, Mom. Colonel Crane wants to restore order to these small communities, mainly so he can keep using his catchphrase, "The Crane has landed." This has all got to have something to do with Richie McBankerson here.
Our friend Henry Kissinger said, "A strong America is the only thing standing in the way of a new world order."
Kissinger also said that the key to taking away freedom is first starting with taking away their backgrounds. Green screen is meant for driving scenes, not a hotel background. And remember that iconic shot in Red Dawn of small town America being taken over? In this movie, well, they're just getting off of a truck.
The sign says River Street.
It says East River Street! Declaring martial law in this town is as exciting as selling encyclopedias door to door.
Hey there. How can I help you, gentlemen? My name is Lieutenant Lane. Martial law has been declared.
Marshall Teague law? And I know who in this town is a giant latte-sipping soy boy!
Oh no, not a gun guy. Never really understood that whole right to carry thing. You and the police are the only ones that need it anyway.
Thanks, Starbucksy McStrawman. If I want to know someone's backstory, I'll just ask Colonel Exposition.
Mother's a veterinarian. Sister is 15 years old. Shoot the eyes out of a turkey at 100 yards.
No, she couldn't. Now to take down the local NRA gun nut. Whoa. Look, sir, we were expecting you to look more like Grizzly Adams. We need a minute to process this. And I need a minute to process this.
Get the hell off my property!
Go, go, go.
Is this really a gun nut?
Hey, I'm just doing. Who told you could shoot one of my men? I'm doing what they told me to do, man. I'm a crisis actor.
How did that conversation go? Look, we need you to pull a paintball gun on some heavily armed soldiers, and in the 1% chance that you live, we may pay you something. This movie is scared of government taking over their land and naughty language.
I will see to it that the only training you do for the rest of your freaking life is push-ups in the brig. Am I clear, soldier?
R. Lee Ermey's ghost called and said you're a pussy. Oh, and Charlie's son is one of the soldiers. Charlie tries warning him about their unit being used for martial law. But check out my new bike!
She is my pride and joy. Goes with me everywhere.
You only needed to walk 10 feet. And props to the honesty for this next question.
Colonel, is there a Mrs. Crane?
He bangs his motorcycle. And who the hell took the flags off my bike? I don't see what they really have to worry about. At least we have Dina Meyer, a Starship Trooper, on our side. And I don't know if I trust that the 1980s Russians really have our best interest in mind.
Our countries have found it beneficial on a number of different levels to come together as friends.
He added on top of that. As Charlie models his latest vest to wear at the leather club that night, he still has some friends on the inside.
How is it every campaign I give you money, but I never vote for you?
That's honestly a really good question. I think it's 'cause you're really stupid. Again, this movie don't need no cursing to show how tough it is.
Something I'm gonna put my footlocker for when the fit hits the shan.
If the fit hits the shan, duck my sick! I knew it. This is all because the military is sponsoring an intergalactic episode of Will It Fit? Now, this may seem like a giant explosion, but really it's more like if in the day after they didn't drop bombs, but instead played the world's largest game of hide and seek. Probably unrelated.
Gentlemen, I just looked up what an EMP is. Get your glow-in-the-dark sticks armed pronto.
Martial law has been declared, Lieutenant.
Thought you were already doing that.
Anyway, the crane is swung, Sergeant. Or landed. I mean, landed. The crane is landed.
Come on, boys, let's risk a court-martialing and take back the movie's inappropriate soundtrack. I'm suddenly reminded of when this movie's fan base got super outraged that First Man didn't properly showcase the flag to their liking.
You could disobey a direct order, but I'll be goddamn if you take my wife, my motorcycle.
This town is celebrating an EMP the right way by going to school and drinking. And taking shelter in the home of the nearest patriot.
Your president has signed all executive orders that gives the United Nations full control of your country and constitution.
Ooh, this is in the days when this character would be against Russian collusion.
But these sons of bitches are making toilet paper out of our constitution.
If only any of them had listened to Charlie's warnings.
The congressional reports I sent you, all the recommendations of the panel, you didn't read a single one of them that I sent you, did you?
It was written in crayon, Charlie, and the paper was just a Texas Roadhouse menu. Well, now that school's out, guess we could have sex or something. Oh, thank God, now it's a party! Kager's here to light his own farts again! This may seem intense, but Red Dusk ends as quick as it begins. Guys, help! Wasn't there an action scene here? After this dream sequence of Russian assassins, now these two can exchange stories about PTSD. Of course, the PTSD this guy is talking about is when he overheard a Macy's worker say Happy Holidays. Then he did this. Hey, that was my soup! Charlie, however, knows the best part of waking up is not telling her there's spit in her cup, and reminding her of how desperate man can be.
The average American family only has 3 days of food. Hungry people do desperate things to feed their families.
Like Star in AmeriGeddon. This group makes the Wolverines look like the actual X-Men.
Do you understand what's happening?
No. All I know is the power went out.
You're a smart girl, Frankie.
Is she? The first part of this scene showed no evidence of that.
What do you want? Tooth Fairy version?
Yeah, most compliments about being smart are then followed up with a patronizing line about the Tooth Fairy. Charlie is so wise. Seriously, he can watch a bratwurst simmer like a madman.
I need to show you something, but I can't show the politician who I don't trust to keep his big mouth shut.
Oh, do you distrust politicians? I haven't gotten that point yet. Charlie has all the tools to win, though. He's got enough vehicles to supply an endless amount of establishing shots. It's chaos outside, but most of our heroes know a rare form of martial arts called editing. And across town, one girl is stuck in a slasher film. I think the killer may be a group of internet trolls? We'll save the day. We got a helicopter. This movie is really succeeding at making me want to watch reruns of Jericho. The school is almost taken over, but the heroes show up to shoot them with black stickers. Now that they've saved the congressman's daughter, will they save the others too? Nope.
Shut up, or I'm gonna bash your face in.
And they're being held captive by super pissed ADRing. Good, this movie needs to take a breather.
Overwhelming evidence indicates there's no scientific fact that GMOs pose any kind of threat, any kind of danger.
I think this movie has opinions about things.
Hey, Frankie, I don't think this is the right time or place for this discussion.
Do you know what kind of movie you're in? These movies would stop a miniature golf scene to debate abortion. It's nice that they're all together now and safe. I forgot that they all know each other. Here, let's hide out in Ted McGinley's cabin from Christmas with a capital C. These are really hard times. They've had to resort to using styrofoam cups. They're practically starving. But they do have evidence to take back the country.
Your troops must be prepared to fire on American citizens, whether armed or not.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh yeah, that hold up. Charlie tells them the government has been planning this for 50 years. I'd trust Charlie. He has a face that says, listen to my Toby Keith albums, and a mustache that says, do it while sleeping on a MyPillow. Oh no, the recording's gotten out. Maybe a few people heard it, since TVs are still out. And I think there's a former romance between these two.
Can I remind you, you're the one that ended things between us.
Ooh, I care about this. Meanwhile, in Rambo First Blood Part 2, I got nothing else here, just a Rambo reference. They're gonna come for this MIA soldier and that recording.
I volunteered. Sam already taught me how to work.
Yeah, you still believe in the Tooth Fairy. Oh, but you're really smart. Sure, you could bring in all of these people to help fight back, but Anna Lynn McCord is so tough, she wears aviators and puts out her cigarettes and gasoline.
Let's go.
She also huffs moonshine and uses it as an inhaler. Now, who wants a drink? Here's to me using bacon grease as eyeshadow. I think I know why he's called Charlie in these movies. This movie is what happens when the funny guy on your bowling team thinks that he's Charles Bronson. Also unrelated.
It's a Molotov cocktail launcher. Calling it the Molotovinator.
See? Told ya. Mirror Universe Eden from Nip Tuck is mainly pissed because this invasion is killing her non-stop smoke break. If this ranch wins, then America wins, until they ask him a question about black people. Hold down the fort and protect Mom as our nation's last flasher.
You know where the guns are.
You bet.
They're everywhere. The guns are everywhere. Check your asshole. There's probably a gun in it. Maybe we can talk this out.
My name is Colonel Cashew.
It's ironic silly hat day. Do I not seem threatening?
Gave you the right to come down here and make these ridiculous demands?
The laws of your land by your president in declaration of martial law.
I know you're the villain, but do you have to be so whiny about it? Gruff, 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 gruff. And if you think this movie's out of conspiracies... Whew, talk about magic bullet theory. Good job, assholes. You just killed Christmas. Keep firing, men! If we lose this ranch, it will not matter in the slightest. The end is near, boys. If we win, we'll have defeated the entire Russian army. How America are these fighters? Even their rocket launchers are chugging a cold brew. Seriously, what the hell was that? Sometimes their traps work. Just like when Robin Hood defended Sherwood Forest and then gave a rousing speech detailing his flat earth theories. America versus Russia, the showdown to end all showdowns again. Just bang already! Ooh, I knew they were gonna kill him with beer. There's probably something else in that bottle. It's just funnier to assume that it's beer. And with that guy gone, all Russia and evil American government has fallen, cause they're a hive mind, I guess. Now, if you excuse me, I need a bang and apple pie.
Our story may never be recorded in the annals of history.
Nah, it's just in the fiction section.
We are not willing to die for a puppet government run by a demonic elite.
You're talking like you actually want this to happen. Give us something inspiring to go out on.
It may not have been our choice, but we are the new patriots.
A lot of micro penis went into the making of this film.
This movie is like if someone pumped steroids into a Dinesh D'Souza movie, only it wasn't steroids, it was just a half-drank can of Monster Energy with 12 cigarette butts in it. It's like Red Dawn, only if you took away the talent and gravitas of John Milius. It's a movie so up its own paranoid ass, it seems to only exist to ruin a normal conversation at Thanksgiving. I don't know what's funnier, its insecurities, or that its own advertising doesn't have a single shred of irony. This is like watching someone try way too hard to be their old man. You're not canon. Now that that's over, where's my apple pie? I was serious about banging it. And if you don't have that, I'll settle on a bottle of Coors Light.
Hey, you almost hit me! Sorry.